Welcome to Ragnar Riders Shop Talk, the ultimate pit stop for all things two-wheeled and roaring. We are mostly ordinary guys who live and breathe the motorcycle lifestyle. From our personal journeys to gripping product and accessory reviews, bike builds that redefine the road, the latest industry buzz, and a sneak peek into our future travels, consider this your front row seat to our motorcycling odyssey. So kick back, relax, and let the engines roar as we dive deep into the world of chrome, leather, and the sweet symphony of the open highway. Welcome to Ragnar Riders Shop Talk, where the rubber meets the road and the stories unfold in the wind.
All right, guys, welcome back to Ragnar Riders Shop Talk. We are checking in again from Daytona Beach, Bike Week 2024.
From the freezer. We're checking in from the freezer.
Randy's a little cold. John's over here burning up.
And we're only 4 feet from one another. Oh, my goodness. There are a lot of people in these towns in and around this rally.
Yeah. For the people not in Daytona, we are talking to both of you.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we've done a couple of rides, little short rides. Ate some breakfast, some other food at one of our favorite spots here, Outriggers. Fantastic. Where else did we eat at? We ate at The Grind.
Yeah.
I'm saying these out loud so that if anybody's coming down,
Kona?
They're two. The pizza supposedly is made from The Grind.
Okay.
But Kona is
this little tiki bar.
The tiki bar part, yeah. So
pretty cool place.
Very, very cool place. Been there twice. So trying to eat some different places if we can. But yeah, it was good. John, what are your takes so far?
It's been fun, but you mentioned it. All but two people that ride motorcycles are here, so
Yeah.
it's been crowded.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
Yeah.
But no, it's been fun. This is my last day here, or tomorrow I'm leaving, so
That's
it's a little
right.
bittersweet. But it's been good to get down here, kind of take a break from reality for 2 or 3 days, and
There you go.
spend some time with some buds and enjoy motorcycles.
DJ and I have about 20 more days, and then we'll be headed home.
Yeah. Allison texted me this morning. She said, "What are y'all doing today?" And I was like, "I don't know, babe. We're going to do motorcycle things with our motorcycle friends."
All 16 million of them.
Why do we have to define things?
That's right.
We don't have to have this itinerary.
That's right.
We're going to do motorcycle things.
So the weather is a little shaky. We had a little rain shower today, and fortunately we had pulled in somewhere to get a drink and a snack or whatever, and the bottom fell out while we were in there, so we didn't get soaked on the bikes. But later we rode to dinner, and then we got swamp butt because our seats were wet. So
Yeah.
that was as good as they are, as much as they cost. They don't wick away water.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
But my buddy at Microdot hooked me up with a new product they have that I'm going to have to try. And it's supposed to help with that and keep the water separated from your clothes. So we'll see how that works out.
Was that some sort of a deer spray?
No, it's a micro, what do they call it? It's like a micro, somehow there's micro in the name because it's made by Microdot. But
Yeah.
it's basically like it creates an air pocket between you and your seat, not like all seats, but it's supposed to help with that moisture when it's raining, and then also during the hot summers.
Okay.
Going to try that product out and give Mike at Microdot some feedback and see how that works. And now that I live down in the humid area of Mobile, Alabama, I'm looking forward to seeing how that helps this summer.
The humidor, not cigar referred.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. A buddy of mine texted me earlier today when we were at The Grind and said, "Hey, where y'all at?" I said, "Hey, we came over here to get a snack. We're just hanging out, waiting on the rain to pass." He said, "Well, where's the rain at?" And I told him where we were at. And he texted me back a few minutes later and he said, well, we left where we were at. We found the rain. Luckily, there was a bar right where the rain started.
So we pulled in.
So he pulled into the bar and it laid out the rain. But yeah, I guess we were kind of doing the same thing ourselves. So,
well, you know, I kind of guilted them into riding to dinner a little bit, I guess. And so as we're taking off, I'm thinking to myself, it was dark, and I'm like, oh my God, don't rain. Don't ever let me live it down. And then as we go to that space between where the intercoastal water is, you know, there's nothing.
Yeah.
And I thought, if it starts raining here, there's nowhere to pull in. There's no store, no gas station. We're just soaked. But thank goodness.
We all had rain suits, but they were all
They were
bags.
in the bags.
So by the
yeah.
time we'd have stopped and got them put on, we'd have been soaked.
Been soaked. That's right. So
yeah, maybe that's a good pointer. You know, check the radar before you get on the bike,
Yeah.
and if you think it's going to be there, maybe suit up because you know we've had some instances in the past where you know sometimes when it starts raining, it don't take long at any kind of movement, any kind of speed, and might as well just leave the rain suit in the saddlebag.
Yeah. It was you know, and they're hot. They're vinyl for the most part. And you know, when we were in Headland, Georgia, for the summer trip this year, we ran across that and we put them on. Just it hadn't started raining, but you know the mountains looked rainy and the weather and there was lightning in the distance, and so we never did really run into any major rain, but it did sprinkle and it was wet and humid, but it was definitely worth putting them on. I think we actually have video of, was it Allison or Shelly won over against the wall trying to put them on with their shoes and pants. So,
I thought you were going to tell the story about that one time in Daytona.
Yeah, that's where I thought he was going with it.
No,
too.
no. I would never do that to Allison. By the way, there was just one time in Daytona.
Now that you mentioned it,
Exactly.
Daytona.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could, right?
I mean, you can. She's not here to defend herself at the moment.
She
so
ain't going to hear this.
This is season 1, episode. Which one, John? Make note of this.
Pranks you pull on your spouse.
Yeah, so
That's right.
So we'll set this up. We're on a ride.
A year ago.
Yeah, a year ago. This trip, I guess. We're on a ride and it starts sprinkling. We knew there was some rain in the area. There's some dark clouds ahead of us, and we pull over at this gas station. We get off. We suit up. I was on the trike. She gets back on the trike, and we're in full rain suit now. So, you know, it can rain as hard as it wants to. We'll be fine. We'll be dry when it comes off.
That's right.
So in fun, I
And the
pulled
bottom had
up.
fallen out at that point.
I mean, it was monsoon.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
It's coming down. We were under this awning at the gas station, and coming off the corner of the awning, they didn't have a downspout. So
That's right.
the gutter was there, and it's just gushing.
What normally would go down a
gallons of water.
downspout was just free flowing water.
Yeah, so I just pulled the bike up underneath
Like you were gonna
the
take off.
downspout, like I was going to take off. Yeah, and I stopped with that waterfall right on top of her head, and then turned around and looked at Randy and said, "What'd you say?"
And the thing about it is, like, oh my God. She started squirming and trying to get, and she was literally about to hop off when he finally took off.
Yeah.
Shelly and
That was hilarious.
Shelly starts yelling at first, going, he don't know. And I said, I just pat her on the leg. He knows. Trust me, it's all good.
Yeah, there were people at the gas station there that were having just a big old laugh out of that.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, you gotta have fun, right? It's
that's kind of jokes I play.
yeah, well, and that's how we roll, right?
Yeah, she wouldn't love me any different.
So, John, yes, we went to see one of our, I guess, must be our favorite helmets because we own several of them between us all. I mean, I know I bought another day, so I've got 3. You guys,
I've got 3.
So Mike Rodot, Mike, and they are. Shout out to you guys. They follow us on our social media, and we're looking forward to a good relationship with them. But they've got a good story on how things got started and their, I guess, startup. But John, you talk to him more than us. Give us a little background and lead us into this part of it.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to tell his story. I'd rather let him do that one day in the future. Maybe we can get him on. But it's really no different than a lot of the stories we've already talked about with a lot of these family operated businesses that support the motorcycle industry. But he basically was in the motorcycle vendor world as kind of a third party sales, and then decided that due to some different circumstances that, hey, I want to get into this on my own. He was starting off with kind of, I think, leather goods, and had some helmet options that he provided. But then through some supply chain issues, he said, you know what, I'm going to start making my own. And man, he's come up with a great product. I mean, it's lightweight, DOT approved, got 4 or 5 different options as far as the helmet. I think all but one of them are DOT approved. I think the baseball cap is the one that's not, but the rest of them are. They're lightweight, they're comfortable. They don't have that whole mushroom look to them.
Right.
It's really been a great product. Like I said, I bought my third one today just because I wanted the other style. We've got I don't know what they call them all. I've got the German style. I've got the one that's got the little lip visor on it. And then
That's the Twister 2.0, I think.
Yeah, and then today I bought the one that's just the cap that doesn't have the visor on it. But no, it was great to sit there, a fellow veteran, and catch up with him and share stories and talk about his product. And he's got some other things that he's branching back out into what he originally did with some other products outside of his helmets. So, if you're out there looking for a lightweight helmet, half helmet that doesn't have the bubble mushroom look, hit up microdot.com. They've really got a great product. So it was great to visit with them today.
Great. And it's affordable. A lot of these helmets, they're good. Especially the full face helmets, but they can be as much as $1,000.
Yeah.
But you can grab one of these and feel, I guess, somewhat safe in your riding and comfortable. My wife Shelly tried several different half helmets, and they hurt her head. She just couldn't find anything that was comfortable. So for a long time, she just wore her full face helmet. But as soon as we bought the first Microdot helmet, she don't want that. She hasn't put that full face. I don't think she's worn it maybe once since then.
I don't
through the winter and everything.
I wear mine unless it's below 40 and raining or raining.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've got my Microdot helmet on. The key is if you're out there looking for helmets, they've got some instructions on their website to follow. Measure your head per their instructions.
Yes.
To make sure you get a good fit. They've got a great how-to video out there, instructions, and when you call to order or when you order it online, they're going to call you or verify with you that you did measure your helmet, because that is very important with the way they make these things and they size these things and shape of head as well. But if you measure, get the right size, or see them at a rally, they're usually here. They're usually at Thunder Beach. That's something we didn't discuss what his plan was for this summer, but if you don't see him at a rally where you can try them on, measure, and if you do, and you get the right size, I promise you it'll be a very comfortable helmet for you.
I agree, and DJ, you've had on 2 or 3 of them. They got a nice little package, nice box. What all comes in that box? It's nice few little things in there that comes with it.
Gives you a helmet bag. As do most helmets you get. I don't know what. We can, I guess, give them a breakdown of the product. I'd say the Twister is probably their biggest seller.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's the polo style helmet that's got the sun brim. You can wear it forwards or backwards.
Right. Like you would a ball cap, I guess.
Sure. So certain times of the day when the sun's maybe coming in over top of your glasses and creating some glare there, you can turn it around, and it's real quick and easy. They do have what do they call their quick release on the chin strap. So you just pull a tab, it opens right up. You can flip it around, click it back down.
I find that to be a big deal. I do for helmets.
Yeah, I've had helmets before with the D rings and you know, I mean, I guess they work, but inevitably for me, I always put my gloves on, get on the bike, and then reach up and grab my helmet and think, man, with the D-rings.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm taking my gloves
I'm about
back
to have
off.
to tie my shoes with gloves on.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
So the quick release is a nice feature that I appreciate. But yeah, the micro dot, you know, I don't know. I'm sure we've got some listeners out there that maybe don't do the whole half helmet thing, and that's great. I own full face helmets too. I've got a Shoei Neotech that I really like, had for a few years. Super helmet. It's got its place in my kit, you know. Down here, you know, the heat is it can be a lot. So I think that was when I first went to the half helmet, was like first summer.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
and they're heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I don't ride with a windshield up that blocks the wind. I like being in the wind, but with that being said, there's a drop off that I suffer the wind force no matter how fast I'm going. And that helmet added on my head with no windshield, I got sore neck muscles if I go a long distance with it.
Yeah.
So, but it's, you know, from a protection perspective, I've got a Sedici helmet. We've all had, you know, Harleys early on, I guess, and you know, they've got all kinds of helmets. But
but yeah, the micro dot. Once I went to it, you know, I really like it. It's comfortable, lightweight. I have not had any quality issues out of it. And, it stows away in a saddlebag pretty easily. They're not. They're really affordable. So, you know, having a couple, or, you know, a different style or two, or a color or two is not unreasonable. You know, I wouldn't. I'm not going to go out and buy 2 or 3 Neotechs, right?
no,
That would be really impractical. But
Yes, I think they got the gloss black, the flat black. They've got a
carbon
fiber print, and then
yeah,
today they had a white. I hadn't seen their white option
really?
before,
I
but
didn't
I saw that they had a white option. Of course, that's the white helmet's coming back. A little bit of a nostalgic throwback.
It is.
Seeing a lot more of that in the 3/4 helmets out there on the market.
Yeah.
So. No, just overall a great product, and then getting the time to talk to them directly. I mean, I guess we've dealt with them before, but not to the extent of the conversation we had with them today. So it was great.
You know, Mike indicated, and this is not even going to begin to mention anything other than just saying he's like all the rest of us. He's had some bumps in the roads and you know, some struggles that have hit him, but he's persevered and kind of pushed through them. And you know, we advocate. You know, 2 of us own a small business, and we advocate small businesses. You know, and John mentioned it a little earlier, which I think is, you know, I'm trying to think how to word this, but motorcycling and motorcycle enthusiast is a big world. It's worldwide. Europe, Australia, United States, everywhere. But yet at the same time, it's very small. And, you know, if you can find a small vendor, you know, like a Microdot, or, you know, Suicide Choppers, or a Volunteer Audio, or something where they're just good folk that are just come up with a, you know, God bless them with a product and a process, and they've got it on the market. And man, I just want people like that just to blow up, just to grow.
Yeah.
And if we can be a part of that and help that out, man, I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
So then we left there and we went to our favorite saddle store.
Yeah, we did.
And spent some time there. Both of y'all made purchases.
Time and money. Yeah. Time is money. Thanks.
So halfway between where, let's see, Microdot was set up at Boot Hill Saloon across from Iron Horse.
Right.
And then we eased on up and stopped off at the Corbin store.
Yep. Went to Broken Spoke for a few minutes.
Oh, that's right. We stopped off at Broken Spoke. Forgot about that. Yeah.
Is that y'all's first time to be there?
That was my first time.
Is that not the coolest place?
Yeah, it really was.
It is.
And now you ought to go there at nighttime because all the trees are wrapped in lights, like Christmas tree lights.
Mm-hmm.
All those trees that are up in there.
Well, plus all the motorcycles hanging from the trees.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, but just a phenomenal place. I mean, environment up in there. It's just my first time was the fall, and I told Jeremy, I said, I got to come back here. This was great.
Yeah, they're supposed to have a big show tomorrow. I'd like to make it over to if things work out.
Southern Country Customs, which is Rusty Wallace and his son out of North Carolina. They set up custom bikes.
Dude,
I can taste it. Like I want one so bad.
That soft tail sitting out there
I think you walked around it several times.
I've got video. I've got pictures.
Yeah.
That was a slick build. I couldn't. I would have liked to have pinned down, the builder, the owner, and found out more about it. I'm pretty sure it was a Road King front end with a soft tail rear. Yeah. That was laying frame and it was nice. Nice build.
We've looked at a lot of different custom bikes. Not to get off on too much of a tangent here, but we've looked at a lot of custom bikes over the last few years we've been riding, and I won't call any of their names at the moment, but and they look good. But we went to one of their dealerships, one of their places in the summer when we were in Georgia. We rode over there and saw some of their stuff, and that's another whole trip of. But anyway. I don't know. It just seems like the more you reach out and the more contacts you people you come in contact with, hey, I went to look at here. Hey, I thought about this, and people start going, I don't know whether I would. I'm not sure about them. And then you start looking at their bikes, and you go, okay, I don't know. But I've looked at Rusty and their group. I've followed them on social media for quite some time now, and I can't find anything negative about their environment. It's seen, and I don't know them by any stretch. There's no support here, there's no sponsorship, no anything. But they've been right there every trip down here. That is their spot, and if you'll notice, there's no other like vendors and stuff in there. It's just them. So whatever that arrangement is, seems to be working out for them. Mm-hmm. But they does some high quality stuff. And today I got in there because it wasn't real crowded around the bikes, and like I was looking at joints and parts and pieces that maybe most people would look at, down around the engine and down around the chin guard and some of those areas, just to see if I could find a flaw. I couldn't find one.
No, they touched every detail.
Yeah. I mean, I just couldn't find nothing. So anyway, Broken Spoke, and then from there we went to Corbin. Yeah. Corbin's the seat candy store, right?
It really kind of is. I think we've probably tried multiple seats. Mm-hmm. I actually do have one of my bikes right now that has a different vendor seat on it. And I said today, man, I mean, I wish that I had a Corbin on that, but I don't know that it's enough that I spend the money for another seat for it. But probably one day, if I continue to keep that bike, I probably will, just because, and I'm not saying that there aren't other seat manufacturers out there that aren't just as good, or, maybe different opinions of different people and different seating platforms, if you will. Not talking about everybody's rumpus, but
right.
The Corbin, it does have a break-in period. The most common thing you hear is, "Man, those Corbins are hard. Those Corbins are hard." I bought mine 2 years ago down here at their online store, and we rode back to Birmingham, so over 1,000 miles. By the time I got home, I'd gone through the break-in period. But even on the ride home, an 8-9 hour ride home, hot spots were gone. Shiftiness, no more. I wasn't shifting in the seat after 2 hours, and my wife sitting on the back, she's loving it. She ain't complaining about the seat and hot spots. And just the more we ride, the more that saddle, as they refer to it, breaks in.
Right.
And after they educated me on the difference between the seat and the saddle, I have a better understanding about it. It's they're expensive. But if you're going to be riding and doing long duration, they're top notch.
If you're doing more than bar hopping, I think you've got to give them a shot. I guess they termed the saddle because their seats really look like a saddle. Been around horses and saddles before, and it kind of has that form.
Yeah, once it forms to where you sit and how your seat platform, if you will.
I mean, DJ, you've got like 4 of them.
Yes, I do.
Let me say it just a little bit louder. Yeah.
So Harley, we'll get on one of my soapboxes here for a second, so just walk with me. But you go on the showroom floor, and they're pitching a bike on a sales floor, right? For the most part, you're not getting out and putting miles and tens of thousands of miles or whatever on it before you purchase, right? Oftentimes, there's probably not even a test drive involved. So they put their seats on there that are plush. John mentioned how hard a Corbin seat is, and relative to a OE factory seat, yes, they are hard, but that's not a bad thing. And you take that factory seat off and feel how soft that foam is, and then turn it over and look at that base pan that it's built on, that is just pliable plastic, any length of miles, and not 100 miles, that foam and that factory pad will have compressed all the way down, and you're sitting on a piece of plastic.
That's right. My butt will confirm.
There's an obvious difference in the build quality between the two. Now, I was referred to Corbin by my uncle, who's been riding for decades, and you got to have a Corbin seat, and I knew of them from the days of going to bike nights or whatever back in the 90s, 2000s. Corbin was huge. So I knew of them and bought my first one. Loved it. It did everything that I thought it was going to do. Since then, I've bought a couple, and I will say not every buying experience has been perfect, but their customer service has been top notch. And we've talked about that before with some other vendors. Like, you can call them up and say, hey, this wasn't right. Yes, sir, I'm fixing it. I'm working on it. It's on the way. What size t-shirt do you wear? So they took care of me. That was the second seat that I bought it just came in wrong, and it came down to a handwriting mistake on the order form that the salesman made, and they pulled the original ticket. They had a scanned copy of his handwritten order for whatever, and said, he just did this or whatever, remade the seat, shipped it back to me, didn't question me about it at all, just top notch. And so I was kind of hooked after that. I'm not really interested in looking at anything else. So today, being here at the rally, I missed not having a tour pack. So years past when we've been here, the weather's been a little more favorable. I'm not going to lie. This year's been a little cooler at times than before, and with the rain and
the sun not shining, it definitely
it necessitates a need for more space on the bike to throw the jackets or the rain suits or the hats and the helmets, and needed that. And I missed not having a tour pack, so I ordered a tour pack from a Road Glide today and had to run by Corbin. Of course, you got to have the matching back pad for it. Talked to the salesman. He said, yes, sir, I understand what you need. I know, I told him I ordered a chopped tour pack. I've got one of your custom seats out there. He was like, yep. He went out there, snapped some pictures of it, wrote it up.
Boom.
You have it in a few weeks.
Yeah. I think that's part of our experience. And I know, John, you and your brother have some quality experience with one of our local dealerships, but that's one of the things that it seems to be different from the smaller, because even though Corbin's big in the industry, they're still kind of a small business. I mean, they're not like,
they're not
on the market,
mainstream today in the market
as others.
Yeah.
They're not the shiny new thing.
Yeah. And I'll say, because you guys had both bought one, and I kept putting it off. A couple of the brands that I wanted to try, I couldn't ever do it. And I'd lost some weight and I don't have much of a rear end anyway, so I didn't have anything to sit on. The little seat I had on my Road Glide was just uncomfortable. So I went ahead and bit the bullet and ordered it, and I'm completely happy with it. I couldn't imagine anything else being on there.
My brother on his Road King had, he went with the road sofa, the Salomon road sofa, and he liked, he thought it was comfortable because it was an upgrade from the factory seat. And he stands 6'2" and he's got 36-inch legs, so he went with the taller rider. Of course, that kind of got into a situation with anything that the rider gains, the passenger loses, right? Because the bolt space is still the same. So, but when he upgraded his bike, he made the decision based off of riding mine and feeling how my Corbin felt. He converted to a Corbin, and I think he really enjoys it. And on my Lowrider S, I'm going to say something that's kind of negative, so I don't want to say the name, but just if you look at most Lowrider S's out there and see what aftermarket seats on them, you can probably guess which one it is, because it's that one. And I'm going to be honest with you, after 30 minutes, I'm getting hot spots and my lower back's hurting. It's just not comfortable, and that's why we were sitting this today. I told DJ, I said, man, if I had to do it all over again. I went with the popular seat for the style of that look of the LRS, but Corbin's got one that looks very similar to it. I was looking at the design, I was looking at the pan of it today. I wish I'd have gone with the Corbin version of it, that style seat, because I think, and they even have the option to put their backrest for the rider and the passenger, which the seat that we have does have, it's got a backrest option, but it's more of like a lower lumbar, and it pushes you forward on the bike. And it's just not a comfortable backrest. I mean, it's they have a backrest option, but it's not designed for ergonomics of the rider for comfort, in my opinion.
Right.
It's just a great product, but I ain't gonna lie, they're expensive.
Well, it's kind of like we talked about helmets a few minutes ago. I mean, you can, if we use a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being cheap seat and 10 being the best, you can buy, a 1, a 2, a 3, or you can buy a 10. I mean,
it's part of that rider triangle that we've talked about before. I mean, and to me, that's it's one of the top priorities of your bike as you start customizing.
Oh, yeah.
Anything has to do with that rider triangle between where your hands are on the bars, to your seating position and your comfort there, to where your feet are on the bar.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be riding for more than just a bar hopper, I mean, if you're riding just to the local bar, you ride on a hard pan for 5 miles.
Yeah.
But if you're actually going to be riding, invest the money in a good seat.
Yeah. And, I don't want to say that there's not other good seats out there. I don't have any experience with any others. LaPera, been in the business probably as long as Corbin. I don't have one of their seats. They probably make a great seat. There's some new technology out there that I don't think Corbin is using as far as the gels and stuff. They may do some custom stuff, I'm not sure, but that stuff may be great. I just don't have any experience in it. But I'm of the mindset that if you're having back pain on your motorcycle, I would say look at your suspension, 1, and your seat, 2.
Yeah.
And don't assume that the seat doesn't have anything to do with your back being sore. I ride 90+% of the time no backrest. These guys do ride backrest all the time, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But what I found was that once I replaced my seat and got my suspension dialed in pretty good, I don't really need it.
Yeah.
If I'm going a really long day, then I will. The cool thing about the Corbins is you don't have to lock them in. There's a ability to do that if you've got worry about it getting stolen or something. But they're easy to take in and out. So I keep my backrest stays in one of my bags on Ultra Limited, and I drop it in when I need it.
Yeah,
and it works with all of my seats. So if I'm going to take the Road Glide for a day trip, or I'm just feeling I might need it today, I can put it on one, take it off, put it on the other. Pretty cool feature.
and they have They've got 2 brick and mortars. There's one in California, one in Daytona, Florida.
Yeah, their main factory's out in California with their store
It
out
is. They've got. I mean, you can go on their website. It's better. Still not the greatest. What do you call the digital?
User interface.
The interface that you can actually mock up what you want your seat to look like. But you can do it and nevertheless and get kind of an idea. But I would say if you're at a rally and can get to Daytona or somewhere out west and can get into their store, they got lots of samples. And
They told us they were going to be set up at the rally. Well, they were in Sturgis when you were there last year.
They were in
right?
Sturgis, and they're planning on going back. They're going to continue to make that a regular. And he told me that they're going to Arizona in a couple of weeks. So they're going to be at Cave Creek, which is a little north of Phoenix, and for Arizona Bike Week.
Yeah.
That's another big rally out that way.
There's another option available to their customers that for us living in Alabama wasn't really that feasible, but you can look that up on their website and schedule an appointment out in California and go out there and spend a day. If you can get your bike there, they will custom tailor you a seat while you're there. And I think it's like a 2-day process. I think you get a fitment one day and then they kind of rush it through production and it's ready for you the next day or within 24, 36 hours, 48 hours. But
ride-in service.
Yeah. So if you want more information on that, check it out on their website. And there's some YouTube videos that people have posted, Corbin's posted, and some other personal experience testimonies of people that have done that. It just really it's not really an option for us to get our bikes all the way out to California. But if you're blessed with that opportunity and you're looking for a seat, because they will custom cut, fit, foam, mold, all that. They look at your pressure points. They've got some equipment out there that they can look at those pressure points, kind of like those little foot things that the orthopedic doctor or whatever has you stand on. And you've got a completely customized seat, not only just with the fabric that sits on the outside for look pretties, but to the actual, they'll even form the pan for you from what I've read. So they'll adjust that. So that's top notch.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And another cool thing about them is there's, like, they have a fee for their seat. There's some upcharges. If you want heat, it costs more. If you want cooling, it costs more. But their leather choices are vinyl or whatever you choose. I think all those are just one price, and you can have ostrich, or you can have vinyl, or you can have black, or you can have gray, or you can have carbon fiber, or you can have
stitching color,
dozens of different materials. You can put different materials in different places. You can have welts or not have welts. You can have diamond stitching or other kinds of stitching or patterns or whatever. And to my knowledge, they don't charge any more for one than the other. You can mix and match it however you want to and really make it custom to what you want, your color selections. And to me, that's just pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that having the ability to kind of, be like going into the dealership to buy a motorcycle and say, I'd like to have this one, but I want to take this out and add this and do whatever. And they go, okay, well, it's still the same price.
Yeah.
But the seats do.
Yeah, you look back in the warehouse at their brick and mortar today, and I mean, there's hundreds or thousands of seats hanging from racks, and that seat costs just as much as if you custom ordered one with bomber leather, ostrich skin trim, and had it shipped to your door.
And I think both of you ordered your one from them. They shipped it to your house, and you got one put on down here. You got yours put on down here.
I got one put on down here, 2 shipped to the house.
Yeah, that's right. And then I had
BMW
mine shipped
that
to the
I
house.
bought. The previous owner of the BMW had bought one.
Put on there.
So
So even the service, and then today I went in and bought the one for the limited, and everything. It just good customer service all the way around. So, yeah, I think it was a great experience.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow, John, you said you're going to be leaving us. We don't know what time yet. Maybe depending on the weather in the morning. Maybe
Right.
ride to breakfast or something, and then come back and load up or whatever you're thinking you might need to do. I haven't looked at the weather. But maybe we'll get a chance to throw something together before you leave. If not, then we'll do it remotely or something. But I remember having a blast. I know the weather's a little bit of a downer, but I'm on two wheels and mildly vacation, so I'm having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate
Hey,
you guys
if you're
coming.
down here, we kind of talked about it in the previous episode, but if you're down here and you're looking for good food and good atmosphere to kind of escape the craziness of everything, about, was it 17 miles south roughly of Daytona, in Lake Smyrna, just outside Lake Smyrna, I think.
New Smyrna Beach.
New Smyrna, however you say it.
Take US 1 south and turn left on.
Yeah, just type in Outriggers into your Waze or whatever navigation. Outriggers.
Marina.
Washington Street.
Yeah, Washington Street.
Yeah, turn left on Washington Street, go across the bridge, and it's about second red light on the right.
Yeah. And you can check out the Ragnar Riders Sport Fisher. It's the gray one, 56 foot quad 400s.
That's right.
Verados.
Yeah, it's docked with its what do they call the guy that keeps it cleaned and everything out there? Is he still out there? Is he working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our deckhand?
Yeah, deckhand. Yeah,
We've got 3 of them.
Okay.
So that we've always got a deckhand on shift. So just tell them you want to check out the boat. And
Juan, his name's Juan. Juan, we love you, buddy. I don't know Juan. Do y'all know
Anyhow,
Juan?
back to reality here. Food is phenomenal, and they have an appetizer platter that's called the
charcuterie.
Apparently, if you order it that way, they know what you're talking about.
I would like it to have the charcuterie, please.
You would like the Ragnar Riders charcuterie.
Sea treasures.
Sea treasures is what it's actually called. Sea treasures. Sea treasures is what it's actually called. And man, it's a great way to start off a meal.
Yeah, it is.
Good food, and we've been there every time we come down here. Some trips, multiple times within that trip. But great restaurant.
Strawberry
great
crunch cheesecake, you gotta get it.
Oh man, the key lime, the bread pudding.
It's just all good.
Great food. Strongly recommend. Go check them out. Like I said, it's I think it's about a 30-minute drive. I think it's only like 17 or 18 miles. But great food, great restaurant, great atmosphere.
Great view.
But it is a marina. There are some really nice boats out there. None of them belong to me.
Or me.
Sadly. I probably own one, but I wouldn't tell them about it.
but it is pretty cool. They had a guy playing there tonight covering some Tyler Childers stuff, some Stapleton stuff. I enjoyed.
Every time I've been, they've had live music.
Yeah, they normally have them out on the front pier.
Well, with the rain, they had them underneath the covered. But
usually not quite as heavy as some of the bands playing down here in Daytona.
You can actually carry on a conversation with your dinner party.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or sing along because you can understand what he's singing.
Yeah. Because you too would follow her to Virgin.
Yeah. And let's touch on that real quick. We're running out of time here, but we did some walking around. We did some walking around Thursday night when the crowds were nowhere near what they were last night. We did some walking around last night. I know that a lot of these people consume a lot of alcohol. All right, so I know that at some level that probably it's just noise, and you're really probably just enjoying alcohol more than anything else. To each their own. But I got to tell you, some of these bands, I mean, and yes, you could say, well, you're just old, whatever, but I've been this way all my life. I never was a grunge, music listener as far as consistently, but I'll listen to about anything. I'm a connoisseur of music. I listen to elevator music. I listen to church music. I love my church music. Country, gospel, rock. I don't care what I listen to anything. Reggae, all of it. I just can't. I have a hard time just standing and listening. And maybe it's because it's the atmosphere. I mean, not the atmosphere, but the sound production. Maybe it's just not good. And maybe the singers are just not good. I don't know. But
Maybe.
Y'all's thoughts on that? I mean, is it just...
I mean, that's no different than any Thursday night, Friday night bar scene in your local town. I mean,
No,
you're going to have better music.
That's probably why I don't go there either.
Musicians, you're going to have different sound quality. You're going to have better acoustics at some places. The first night we got in, which was pre-night of the rally starting.
Right.
We stopped off at Saints and Sinners, and there was some rock cover band there. And, maybe it was just because there wasn't as many people. So they weren't trying to blast the music as loud as they normally do.
That was tolerable.
But I thought, man, they were playing stuff from, they played some Pink Floyd, they played some...
Shine.
I mean, just
did some stuff,
all kinds of stuff.
It was all... I used to
they went on a Ted Nugent solo rant with that lead guitarist.
Oh, yeah.
He's walking across the picnic tables and across the bar tops. And, man, just for 20 minutes was a Ted Nugent cover jam session.
Right. That's right.
It was awesome. I really enjoyed that band that played that night. I didn't catch their name, but they were really good. But yeah, there's some that they're just filling the playlist.
Yeah, I guess they are. It's I mean, there's some good ones out there too. I've been coming down here long enough to have heard some good ones too. But I guess where you get in a lot of those big, large crowds.
Yeah.
People are just kind of going crazy, and the band's going crazy, and I don't know, maybe just the energy of the band. And if you're not in that crowd or in that environment, maybe you're standing there looking at guys, look at them stupid people, But I mean, yeah.
Well, we're down here to fellowship with friends and stuff, and so not necessarily the party scene necessarily. We enjoy a good atmosphere and a good environment, but we still want to be able to have a conversation with our brothers and sisters and wives or friends that we may have just met that day or may have met at the bar. And when you can't even hear or carry on a conversation, that's maybe we're getting old. I don't know.
I guess I don't know. I don't mind some of it, but like I said, it definitely gets up there. So. If you're looking to find us on social media outside of this podcast, you can find us on TikTok, RR Shop Talk, or on Instagram, RR.shoptalk. Facebook is Ragnar Riders Shop Talk, and our email is
rrshoptalk@gmail.com.
Lead us out of here, Mr. Woody.
We appreciate you hanging with us for another episode. Hope you check back in with us. Hit the subscribe button. And whether you're in Daytona this week or at home, stay safe on two wheels and on two lanes.
All right. Good job, guys. Enjoyed it. See you next time.